Hi everyone, today I've got a new book review and this one is going to be on The Forsaken by Lisa M. Stasse. That flows very well, as I always say. I love saying Stasse. I am aware it's just Stasse, but we have to make things more lively and more exciting. Stasse, Stasse, because the book wasn't as Stasse and exciting as I'm suggesting. So, The Forsaken is the first book in a planned trilogy. It's most likely going to be classed as probably YA dystopia, that is what I would say, and the book is centred around and told from the perspective of the main character of Elena Shawcross. She's a 16-year-old orphan. She is part of the United Northern Alliance, and this is basically a merge of Canada, United States and Mexico after a global economic meltdown. And basically that occurred, and then the novel follows Elena from this as she learns to survive. She's basically sent to this island where the government has sent all the people who failed the government personality profile test, and for me that already suggested, if she's failed a personality test, is she going to be a good character? Is she going to have any personality to her? However, although sometimes there is a lack of personality, I've decided to give the characters a 3.5 out of 5 because I was generally interested to find out what was going to happen. I wanted to journey with them throughout, see how they would develop and maybe change. I was a bit excited, definitely more at the beginning as I found about them and get to know them and stuff. However, I didn't really feel a strong connection with Elena. I just didn't find a special spark in her that I normally see in a lot of characters. She was just very bland, a bit average, and didn't really stay in my mind. Currently, right now, I don't remember anything about her, so is that basically saying she just is not very memorable? Also, the insta-love romance thing, no. I'm not a fan of that. I never am. It doesn't work, it doesn't really add anything to the story, and it's just kind of pointless and kind of weird, kind of unrealistic as well, probably adding to the fact that she's maybe a bit more unlikable and, you know, sort of not very relatable or connectable or anything like that. The plot is also going to get a 3.5 out of 5 as well. It was fairly fast-paced for the most part. Didn't really experience any dragging, which was quite shocking considering I wasn't even enjoying the book that much. It was actually quite a fast read, surprisingly. But as I've said before, nothing felt unique, nothing felt really special. It just, I don't know, it's sort of like I've read it before. Kind of like a bad mashup of The Hunger Games and Divergent. I've sort of seen it before, all these elements, you know, that make it up. It's a very average, similar, typical, kind of predictable kind of thing. Although it isn't fully the same as those books that I've mentioned, it just reminds me a little bit of it. That's basically saying to me that it might not be as good in comparison and, you know, it's not really fully unique. Didn't really grab me in as much as I was hoping as a result of all this. I sort of just sat reading and it was a very average book. I didn't really enjoy it that much, not very excitable, and I just didn't really connect or empathise with anything. I didn't even remember half the stuff. I sort of looked at the book and sort of nothing really stuck in my mind, you know, kind of weird, but it didn't. I'm also going to give the writing a 3.5 because, to be honest, it's very easy to understand. It moves fairly quickly, don't really have to think about much, which is quite nice. A lot of YA dystopias are very similar. Obviously, it means you can get through it quite quickly. I'm going to be honest and say you're not on the edge of your seat with enjoyment, and you don't really, you know, excite with it, but you do power through it as well, so that's kind of a good thing. Some aspects of the style were a little bland and lacking in emotion. I didn't really empathise with anything. It just felt like, you know, nothing got me excited or empathised, didn't really feel any emotions. Felt very, very flat as a writing style, and it just comes across as a little bit average. As you may have guessed, the enjoyment is going to get slightly lower than all the rest because I haven't really enjoyed it that much. It's going to get a 3 out of 5, so maybe I'm being a little bit generous, but I did enjoy some aspects of it. Parts didn't take me too long. As I said, it was quite a quick read as well. But overall, it's just very bland, lacking in emotion, lacking in entertainment value, and I think although it had potential to be very, very amazing, parts were very dull and didn't live up to this, you know. I had high expectations for this book and I was kind of disappointed, I'm not going to lie. Overall, that means a 3.4 out of 5, so it's not a totally bad rating, it's not too bad, but very, very average, as I've said before. Didn't really leave me with any questions or anything sort of questioning anything. It didn't really get me thinking. It was just very normal, very average. A nice read, but not one that I'd fully recommend, I don't think. Definitely cannot be compared to Divergent and The Hunger Games, which are so much better. In terms of dystopia, if you haven't read them, even though most of you probably have, go read them because they are so much better. So everyone, that is it for my review of The Forsaken by Lisa M. Stasse. Thank you for watching. Sorry it was a bit complainy-ish. Maybe, I don't know how it even went, but hopefully it was an okay review. Hopefully it gave you an honest opinion, which is something I always look for. Honest opinion, I think, if you've got that, you're fine. If you're going to want to be a booktuber, honest opinions all the way, which is hopefully what I give. So yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Tell me what you think of this book if you've read it or if you're going to plan to read it. Don't forget to comment, rate, share and subscribe, and see you all again later.